going to be more cost effective. So, like I said, these are challenges coming from the COVID-19, which of course is not all about these are opportunities coming from COVID-19. It's not all about the challenges. So, post-COVID-19, what are we looking forward to? It is obvious that the dissemination of UPC across the globe will no longer be the same again. Definitely, there's going to be a change in that direction. As important as face-to-face training is, especially when it comes to networking, large group discussions, group exercises, and so on, online resources will also bridge a gap for quick reach to the underserved population in the field. So, what next? Some issues we possibly need to resolve at this conference, or some issues that may be agitating the minds of persons, particularly in Nigeria and across, which, if we're able to provide solution to during the course of this conference, it will also be a plus to the development of addiction programs in the universities. One of which is, how do we maximize the opportunities from COVID-19, especially going in line with the opportunities I have enlisted? How do we take UPC to the university system? Should we adapt UPC alone, or UPC, UTC, and URC? The URC means it's an acronym for Universal Recovery Curriculum. That is, do we adapt UPC alone, or the three combined in developing additional programs in universities? And would there be a non-course content for a 4-year academic program if alone? That is, if UPC alone. Do we go UPC and UTC at first degree, then UPC and UTC separately at graduate studies? So how do we develop career progression from additional studies? Who hires prevention practitioners after the course? From experience, actually from those who have participated in our training, 92% of the participants are actually employed. So taking additional programs to the university, it means that most likely those who are yet to be employed will take the course. So how do we plan career progressions for them, and how do we ensure that they are appropriately situated when they are done with the course? And of course, the last issue I want us to look at is, what would be the incentives to pursue a 4-year program in addiction, prevention, or treatment in the university, if that can be achieved through continuing education? So these are some issues we might work around in addition to other issues, so that at the end we'll be able to come up with something that will be of benefit to all as far as the development of addiction program is concerned in the university. So on this note, I will say thank you for your attention, and I wish you a wonderful conference.
All right, thank you so much, Martin. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Bola, and I believe that Craig will be sharing his slides for him.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's been a good day. I have to thank Martin for providing the foundation on which I am going to talk about the challenges and opportunities in developing addiction programs in higher institutions in Nigeria. Next. What I'm not going to repeat a lot of things that Martin said, but I'm going to build on that. Presently, the population of Nigerians are 200 million, and distilling from that, we have the working age population, which is about 106 million. From the recent survey, we found that about 15 million of the working age have problems with psychoactive substance use, and particularly the prime working age of 25 to 39, they have the highest level of the past year use of psychoactive substances. And this is occurring in the context where we have numbers of doctors inadequate. We have about 33 doctors per 100,000 population, nurses of 88 per 100,000, and the people that are more interested in addiction, where addiction is contextualized in the country. You see psychiatrists with 0.06 per 100,000 population, psychiatric nurses 0.19, clinical psychologists 0.02, and other care workers put together it is 0.06. So that's the context, and it is not that good. Next. So, I looked at the health systems framework, and some of the things that we found, it's basically in two areas: inadequacy of training. Despite the fact that there are a lot of universities, we still found out that people who man the health systems at primary health care levels report about poor training in substance abuse. There are poor or no formal collaborative networks, even within the education sector, in order to find means of having this public health concern of drug use tackled by virtue of training. And so, but then we have some graduate, postgraduate education, and that is in the slides that Martin shared, for some courses in addiction at both the generalist and the specialist level, although these are inadequate at the moment. Some of the review of the curriculums of the general nursing shows about 8 hours of exposure in addiction by virtue of contact. For mental health nursing, it's about 27 hours, which is very, very low. And this is to say that definitely it's expected that there will be huge treatment gap. And the thing is that the health workers need to perceive their role. They perceive their role as alien in the provision of addiction. And a lot of them have poor enthusiasm because of their poor knowledge, skills, and competencies. And even a review of facilities across the nation shows a lack of facilities, even though there are some facilities that are a bit adequate, but then in terms of the population, they are inadequate. And there is no national coordinated strategy or policy implementation to address this problem. So next. So if we continue like this, probably in the year 2030, the working age population would be 150 million out of the projected population of 300 million. And the drug use would have increased if we continue this present rate to about 23 million from 14 million. And because of the brain drain that is also ongoing, the ratio of doctors per 100,000 population, nurses, would have also been halved. Next. So there's a time for change. And this is just the general observations deriving from the previous slides that I've shown you. It's going to be insufficient manpower, insufficient treatment centers, limited evidence-based treatment, and for dedicated training for people with substance use problems. Next. So I need to say that it is within this background and the opportunity offered by the International Consortium of Universities in Drug Demand Reduction, which is an outlet of the ISOP. That was when about 3 of us took the advantage to look at the pains and gains within this context. And we discovered that the curriculum coverage of core aspects of addiction, assessment, prevention, and management, they are not that evidence-based. And so we have a need for initiatives that will recognize this and also incorporate this into the roles of other care workers when we talk about the issue of task shifting. And so what we developed is, what we discovered and decided on is that we needed to do identification of the gaps in the curriculum and the needs, the present needs analysis, and develop a curriculum that would be able to address that problem in our institutions next. So these efforts were made because I need to acknowledge my colleagues here, Professor Haudu, Professor Ezenwa, Dr. Suagoa, Dr. Awal. They are all from the universities that have shown interest in developing curriculum, and this is actually some kind of collaborative to develop collaborative knowledge of addiction, which is essential for early recognition and action, and also to identify what are the areas of needs in terms of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and competencies. And this needs to be evidence-based. And we need to also talk about how to build synergies across our university systems, and also have partnerships, particularly with international bodies, particularly ICUDDR. And this is what crystallized in some of the meetings we had with under the auspices of ICUDDR Conference in Addis Ababa. Next, please.
Dr. Ola, can I hold on 1 second? Craig, we're having some difficulty seeing the slides.
Okay.
So I just, oh, that's better for me. Is that better for everyone else? I got a few messages about it. So.
Yes, yeah, same here. I was trying to figure it out. It looks good to me now.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
So that's fine. That's fine. You did a good job. Thanks.
Thank you. So are you.
Yeah, thank you. So, so for each of the participating institutions, we also recognize that even apart from the universities, there are other facilities where education can be provided, and those are ones that are mentioned by Martins, including the Focal Center for UTC in Federal Neuropsychiatry Hospital Yaba, and we are also trying to work with GISA. So what we need to do is to anchor the curriculum on the philosophy, the mission, and the vision of each institution. And this is going to address the local needs of the institution and the local needs of the populace, where the target populations for these educational programs will be identified and their needs recognized in line with the philosophy, mission, and vision of the institution. And that would lead to what may be the peculiar gaps and challenges, and this will be captured, and they are going to be aligned with the curriculum. And this will also form the basis for the learning outcomes of the people that are interested. And we also found out that we need to use the low-hanging fruits. We need to identify existing platforms, programs where we may be able to infuse the curriculum developed. We also need to be able to identify easy and evidence-based, available resources and policies that we can build on for collaboration and preparedness, where we, for instance, in some of the institutions, they have memorandum of understanding with partnerships of international partners, and that could be things that we can leverage on. And we're also thinking of some targets where we can have input into the pre-service trainings for those who are in schools, developing manpower across stakeholders, social workers, nursing in their curriculum, and also for people who are in service who strongly feel that they need to have evidence-based, up-to-date education in addiction, where we can develop short courses, diploma courses, certificate courses for that. And next, please. So, so in essence, the curriculum in each of these localities need to be responsive to the ecological frameworks, to the diverse disciplines, contexts, and cultures. And there has to be graded scheduling of skills and competencies in terms of whether it's going to be short courses, going to be summer courses, or diploma or certificate courses, or masters and PhD, which may be in a kind of pyramid. And this, because has to take into consideration adult learning techniques. And so we also agree that there has to be a portfolio of meaningful experiences that people who are exposed to this curriculum need to learn. And we also found out that the curriculum needs to be evaluated using the CIPP model, where we evaluate in terms of context, the inputs, the processes, and the products that we've been able to deliver. Next. So the pre-COVID lecture is basically physical, where students at all levels attend lectures physically, and there's a high percentage of students that stay in school between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays. Next. And this made us to start considering that, okay, fine, can we also have the input, particularly for those who may be working? What are some of the blended online paradigms that can be done? But we realize that there are challenges in developing curriculum, particularly because we don't have that manpower. And some few universities have have departments that can develop curriculum, educational development departments. So, and the competencies in terms of technology and how to embed technology in education is also low. But we found out that even the blended online lecture, it's going to be advantageous by, but then how do we internationalize the curriculum to offer student opportunities, particularly to develop globally valued capabilities? And how do we consider the diversity of learners, how to lead them and not control the students in learning? So they have to be student-centered. Next, please. So the challenges are there. So we have faculties struggling and under pressure, particularly during the COVID time. And we also have courses in addiction that have high level of hands-on components. And how do we make sure that even when we're offering blended online courses, these are also there, because these have been disrupted. And then we also consider the inequity, because low-income students suffer disproportionately. They are less likely to have resources such as personal computers, and even high-speed internet facilities. Access to that is a big problem. So how do we enable them to succeed even in the online environment? And how do we determine the IT infrastructure upgrade that is necessary even in the country? Well, that is in the educational policy, but it hasn't been implemented. The next slide. So the opportunities are there. There may be purposive grooming of lecturers by trainings, seminars, workshops for staff and students, particularly for technical support and general adaptation. And most universities are looking in that direction now, and that is where we may have the opportunity of using our curriculum. And we are also thinking that we need to also blend with the rethink and redesign of the teaching learning process that embeds technology and other form of andragogy, which is the adult learning techniques. And budget needs to be provided in not the omnibus online teaching infrastructure for everything, but this needs to be customized to address the local needs that have been found while preparing the responsive curriculum. And this is some of the things that we learned when about 17 of us from Nigeria, also at least 17 of us from Nigeria attended the UTC walkthrough curriculum, where we showed interest in how do we develop our own contextualized curriculum. And those are some of the things that came up. Next, please. So,
hi, Bola. Just a quick reminder to wrap up as soon as possible so we have plenty of time for discussion. Thank you.
Yes, that's going to be in the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
So there is a 4-point agenda, and one of the things is to develop an accurate view of the situation and decide on what exactly to do while adhering to community values at local and university levels, and design a portfolio of actions with how to act on them and deliver the plans. Next, please. So the main thing is that we need to hit the iron while it's hot. And this is the opportunity that I think COVID has offered us universities. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to put the dysfunctional strategies in addressing drop problems even behind us. And this has put the spotlight on how to expand a range of, our reach to the range of learners in addictions who can help address the gap that I have shown in the first few slides. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Bola. We're going to go ahead and hand it over to Ehigiator next, and I believe Craig has his slides as well.
Greetings to everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you, yes.
So I'm going to, thank you. I greet everyone. It's nice to be a presenter at this conference. I'm going to be looking at challenges and opportunities with e-learning among Nigerian healthcare workers involved in the management of clients with substance use disorder. Next slide. Next slide. And I'm going to use this outline introduction, and then after I'm going to look at the challenges prior to COVID-19, challenges during and post COVID-19. And I'll look at the opportunities associated with e-learning, opportunities that have been thrown up by COVID-19 as well. And then I'll make a conclusion. Next slide. E-learning is product of with that kind of facilities such as the computers, the smartphones, and the internet. Essentially, knowledge and skills can be transferred simultaneously, and learners and facilitators can be very wide apart. They can be on different continents. Next slide. Healthcare workers in the field of HUD need to acquire skills and knowledge before they come into the field, and even while in the bid to be able to utilize evidence-based practices in their work. And you agree with me that e-learning provides a veritable medium to build such capacities. However, SUD health workers may face several challenges in their bid to key into e-learning activities. Now, what are the challenges pre-COVID-19? Before COVID-19, the challenges included the lack of motivation on the part of health workers to use e-learning. You agree with me that if a person lacks the experience of the desire to benefit from e-learning, they are not likely to use e-learning facilities. And then before COVID-19, e-learning was generally perceived by learners as dull and uninteresting. People got used to the traditional method of learning where you have to stay in the classroom. You have opportunity for a lot of social interaction. And so these are not readily available with e-learning. And so people rather pay money, attend workshops, attend conferences to acquire skills and knowledge, and also have some good social interaction. Another reason why people did not embrace e-learning before COVID-19 was the natural characteristics of people, which is the resistance to change. Even though it is popularly said that change is the only thing that is constant, you also agree with me that resistance to change is the nature of man. People want to continue to do things the way they have always done it. So for some time immemorial, we got used to gathering in the classroom, and so health workers in the field of SUD, indeed, like any other potential learner, did not readily embrace e-learning because of this nature of the man. And then we also have poor information communication technology skills. The education system in Nigeria is such that there is a very little input of ICT skills. So you can find people who have first degree, second degree, and third degree, but they may not just have the basic ICT skills to engage in e-learning, and so they stayed away from e-learning. Now there's also the belief that those who must engage in e-learning activities must be technologically savvy, even though this is not true, but from e-learning, because they believe that you must be highly sophisticated with regard to computer or internet technology for you to engage in e-learning. Then many people also thought that you do not get the kind of support you get from traditional learning with e-learning. People thought that, unlike in traditional learning, you can have the phone number of your teacher, you can organize a special one-on-one session with your trainers. Many people thought that this is not possible with e-learning, and so they also avoided or shy away from e-learning. Next slide. Next slide. Then several e-learners or potential e-learners did not immediately see the impact of e-learning on their work. They didn't come to terms with the fact that they can acquire fundamental knowledge, they can acquire fundamental skills via e-learning that they won't do with other face-to-face learning interaction. And so for this reason again, some health workers did not take part in e-learning exercise. Now, before COVID-19, the average health worker that works with SUD clients is extremely busy. We have a very serious paucity of health workers in this country, and SUD and mental health workforce is particularly what's hit. And so the average health worker was extremely busy that it was difficult to take out time to want to engage in e-learning activity. And then you have challenges with regard to the cost of data and computers. Evidence shows that the cost of data in Nigeria far exceeds what obtained in several other countries, especially in the Europe and America. And so there are some health workers in SUD whose salary is such that they certainly will not be able to purchase the data that will be involved to carry out e-learning seamlessly. And even the cost of computer and smartphone is indeed outside the common reach of some category of health workers who work with SUD clients. Then even when people are able to buy data, get computer, then you have the problem of poor data services. A great majority, some parts of Nigeria do not even have internet services. Now, in major cities where the services may be available, bandwidth won't be a problem, and issues of poor internet connectivity. Again, power is not regular in this country, and you know that you need to charge your computer, you need to charge your phone for you to be able to use them, and thereafter make yourself available for e-learning activities. Okay, can we move this slide?
Hi, Ehigiator. I just wanted to quickly let you know you have about 5 minutes remaining. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Now, the other issues are, well, during COVID-19, a lot of the personal factors appear to wane. Many SUD clients were not fully comfortable to access treatment. So health workers involved in the treatment of SUD had some time, and because of that, quite a large number of health workers involved in SUD clients management became readily available for e-learning. But this period of COVID-19 also threw up some challenges. For example, challenges again with poor internet connectivity. The cost of data remained a challenge. Then learners with some disability have been particularly disadvantaged. Okay, the lack of computers remained a problem. Electric power supply remained a problem. Then difficulty with practical sessions have been quite challenging. Then you have problem with distraction and poor participation. Distraction because people are home, children may be there to distract parents when they engage in e-learning. And then you also got to worry over data privacy and security. People worry that their personal data may be collected and used for unsolicited purposes. Then you have the feeling of isolation, again because people are used to the traditional system of learning. Can we move this slide? Now, people during this period also, there's been this tendency to engage in numerous e-learning activity at the same time, and this became quite unwieldy. The learners have had some frustration. Then learners with disability have been disadvantaged, especially those who are hard of hearing, because those who are hard of hearing have to listen at multiple levels. They have to do some lip reading. They have to watch body gesticulation to be able to follow learning effectively. And then you also have problem with poor computer or smartphone literacy. And of course, a lot of learning management systems have been developed. People are still trying to get used to them. So this has also been challenging.
Ehigiator, are you still there?
Can we move this slide? Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yes, we can still hear you. We just lost you for a moment, I believe.
Can we move this slide? Okay. Now, challenges post-COVID-19 will include how to sustain the tempo of e-learning activities. E-learning has become the norm now, and so many people are going to come on board to do e-learning, and then the infrastructure will be there, and then we need to work out how to conduct practical sessions using e-learning, and how to effectively and efficiently engage e-learners. And then there would also be issues concerning assessment and evaluation. We need to think of ways to do assessment for e-learners so that there will be integrity for the process. What are the opportunities that are derivable from e-learning that the COVID-19 season era? Now, e-learning can be undertaken while observing physical distancing. So this is a major strength of e-learning. I'll move the slide. I've not beyond the slide. Now, e-learning is economical, is efficient, it is convenient. People can join e-learning from anywhere at any time, from their vehicles and so on and so forth. E-learning is flexible. You can readily reschedule e-learning programs, which is not possible with the traditional learning. And research has shown that e-learning increases retention of information. Now, e-learning, move the slide please. E-learning provides opportunities for healthcare workers to be trained by the best from any part of the world. And then there is opportunity to build a network far and wide, and of course, there's opportunity for mentorship from the best from any part of the world. E-learning provides opportunities to acquire exotic degrees and certification without having to go through the stress of traveling and disruption of family life. E-learning provides lifelong learning resources. For many years to come, the resources can be available, and people continue to go back to such resources to enhance their capacity. Now, e-learning also provides room for consultation. Some e-learning platforms are clinically so that while you're managing a patient over here in Nigeria, you have the opportunity to talk with experts from any part of the world, and the contribution of such experts may have a far-reaching effect on the outcome of the treatment of the patient back here in Nigeria. I'd like to conclude by saying that despite the seeming challenges and maybe obstacles to the opportunities are quite immense, and with great knowledge, with the right knowledge, attitudes and practice by SUD healthcare workers towards e-learning, these challenges won't be ameliorated. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Ehigiator. I believe Craig is going to move all of us into